We're gonna have a good time tonight. I'm drinking coconut wine.
Coconut wine.
It's the finest of the nut wines. Got it from BBC.com.
You're a fucking grown man.
Well, you'd think that.
Like
No,
that.
no.
Oh, Keith, you
Yes, he
mother.
did. Yes, he did.
Hold
You
on.
Yes,
son
he
of a
fucking
bitch.
did.
I thought we were done with the lesbian discussion.
Keith likes some women like he likes his football jerseys. 4X.
If I had a band name, it might be called Significance Firm.
Like big girl porn is all interracial. And now, don't get me wrong, that's a good stereotype. Keith, you are an enigma inside of Riddle, inside an STD, right?
Welcome to the Story, Sports, and Sarcasm podcast. I am Keith, along with my friends Jim and Bert. What is going on?
Jim, you're just gonna phone it in this week without the Triple S pod? What the hell, man? It's like my favorite part of the show.
And he hasn't done it in 8 weeks.
I haven't done it for a while, and I don't have the energy this week. I've been sick all week.
You know, Carol and I are very disappointed in your behavior lately.
But I toughed it out to be here on the show. I'd much rather be on the couch, the heating pad on my back, a cold compress on my head for my headache.
You don't just have one in your thing? I have a heating pad.
So Heather gave me a little pep talk.
Hey, wait a second. What time? How long have we been? When did we start the show?
6:29.
45 seconds ago, we got the first Heather bomb.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So she gave me a nice little pep talk. She gave me a nice little pep talk before I came down here, and it was, "Don't get obliterated."
Why?
Don't shit the bed.
Right. So don't get obliterated. That was your pep talk. So I'm gonna piss bong real quick.
Show her who's boss.
Right.
Every time I see that, I think the song Butterfly Kisses. Butterfly Kisses.
So what are we drinking, fellas?
Oh,
I am drinking water. Is what
Water?
I've been.
fish
had
do
the,
nasty shit in water.
it's bottled water, so
Oh,
Fish
that's
pee
fine.
in that.
I
What about you?
drink out of the hose when I was a kid. I'm fine.
I'm drinking Petite Coconut. It's coconut wine, finest of the nut wines.
Coconut wine.
Finest of the nut wines.
It looks like you're drinking a glass of eggnog. How's it going, Cousin Eddie?
Shitter's full. Actually, the shitter was full this week. We had to have a plumber come out and snake out the main stink pipe this week.
Oh,
So my basement smells like ass.
you got two teenage boys, right?
Yeah, and wait,
And
who's
Rebecca.
downstairs? I can't say what I was going to say next then. So, but yeah, $500 later, they came out with a giant snake and snaked out to the curb and fixed the problem.
Yeah, that guy that does that, I've never seen a guy that wasn't as creepy as could be that does that work.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the guy that did it at his house, or you just
No. I
In
used
general.
to. We had a contractor that we would call out, and he
I thought you were gonna
was.
say- I thought you were going to say you used to do it, and I would agree that is the creepiest looking guy.
No, I used to call a contractor out, and he was. Like one of those. He would look at you like this.
Yeah. One of your guys.
Right.
He has a guy for everything. Let me call my guy. He has a guy that he calls that gets guys for him.
My guy.
Yeah, my guy.
So I've got the Beast Unleashed.
Well, you are into them lately.
I bought 12 of them, and I only drink them on the podcasts. And
You must
then
hate your kidneys.
Yeah, as quickly as you can during the podcast.
so Castle and Key,
Yeah.
That's the batch 3 that we got when we were in
I
Kentucky.
think I got like maybe 1 or 2 pours left, and that's
right.
it's gonna be
And
cash.
I've got the Elijah Craig barrel proof.
Yeah.
That is, what is that?
118 proof?
118 proof. And then the Blanton's straight from the barrel, 130.3.
Well, there goes your
Yeah.
obliterated plan.
Yeah.
Would
That
you like
pep
to
talk went in one ear and out the other. So
would you like to go ahead and start whispering and showing us the in-house cameras now, or do you want to wait for a little while to do that before you get yelled at?
Yeah, that did not go over great.
I warned you about the door is shut.
Yeah.
It's not a it's not a vacuum door on the space shuttle. It's just a freaking basement door.
Yeah. It's a freaking basement door.
So, did anybody get their taxes done? Because I did mine this week. It's quite the emotional roller coaster to get my taxes done.
Well, I told her that I think we're going to get audited this year because she's the only person in the history of ever that has filed taxes with a payment before April 15th.
We paid ours.
I pay mine every
Yeah.
called being a citizen.
No. Like when we do our return, we owe.
Right.
And instead of waiting until the last minute to pay it, like everyone else who has to pay does, she sent it like the 7th of February. I'm like, we're fucking going to get audited because no one does that.
I paid it last week.
Oh, yeah. Most people are like, they go and make sure it's postmarked on the 15th and send it as late as possible.
So, okay, let's. We did our taxes online. We usually go to H&R Block, but this year Rebecca thought, well, we'll do because it's $350 to go to H&R Block, which is very pricey. Yeah. So we start right, and we put in her W-2, and it's like we're getting $13,500 back. I was like, oh yeah, I'm singing Kumbaya. I'm excited, right? And then we put mine in. Now we owe $2,500. And I'm like, well, that's bullshit. So let's try filing separately because you can toggle that on and off.
Yeah.
It's like file separately, $6,000. Now you owe $6,000. How does that? So okay, then we uncheck that. It's back to $2,500, and then you have to put your employer's health care information in there, right? Did you have health insurance? So we put that in. Now we owe $4,000. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, what the hell? So I hit next, back to $2,500. I don't even know why it went to 4,000 to 2,500, but that's what it did. And then it's like, well, do you want audit protection? By the way, it's $20 for audit protection. I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Hit that. Now we owe $2,500. Like, wait, how did that went from 25 to 15 to 25? So I hit no again. I don't want audit protection. It's back down to $1,500. So we went from getting $13,500 back to owing $1,500 for federal, and then getting back like $2,800 from state. Well, I don't know how we always overpay state, but we overpaid state $2,800. Now we have to go to the city of Lancaster because my office is in Dublin, so they take out my taxes in Dublin, but they don't take it out in Lancaster.
Right.
Even though I don't set foot in that office, but once every 3 months, I pay taxes to Dublin, but I also owe Lancaster taxes, which went up another. Don't
you get to convert it over?
Nah, I get 1.5% of that back, so I still owe money. We still owe like $1,400 to Lancaster.
I thought they had what they call it. I was going to say Dora, but that's where you're allowed to drink outside and walk around.
You're thinking of Rita, Regional Income Tax Authority. Yeah, not as much fun as Dora. Dora's always finding shit. Rita's always charging me shit.
So it's funny, like you'll find like Grove City has Dora, and it's like the third Friday of every month from 6 p.m. to midnight or whatever. Hilliard has one that it is from noon to 10 every single day. Hilliard likes to party.
We've got Dora. It's 7 days a week in our downtown. And then like on our west side, we've got metha. And then on our far east side, we got cracka and heroina, So yeah, get what you want.
Pick your poison.
Oh, this is a nice vintage barrel aged heroin.
Oh,
That's where you can walk around with open container, right?
Right.
Well, the cup.
But it has to be a plastic cup that actually has the word Dora on it.
Yeah, they just started that in Mount Vernon.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
I figured
They only
you
do it
drive
on
around
the-
with yours still in your car. They didn't care in Mount Vernon, did they?
No, they really don't, but they're trying to class up the joint downtown now. They got a few places, and so
Oh, they
What
finally got a
places do they have
BW3s.
downtown? I know there's the Flappers. I loved Flappers.
I wouldn't call that classing up the town, but
No. I just loved the place. I like dive bars though.
yeah.
Always have.
They got a Hardee's.
And they got Stein. There's a whiskey and wine bar there now.
Oh,
There's the Naz has got some stuff down there. Kenyon's got some buildings down there now.
Kenyon actually has a really good restaurant as well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
The Kenyon Inn. Oh, they've got some good food there.
Yeah, but you have to drive through a sea of people with their armpits unshaved.
The women he's talking
Well, they
Right.
braid them. They
The
braid
men's
them
are
and put beads.
The men's are shaved.
Yeah, the men keep their shit tight. So.
It matches the drapes.
Oh my goodness.
I drive through there that village every day coming home from work, and it's amazing what you see these students walking. They just walk across the street.
They don't even look.
Don't even look. They're just like, just because your dad is a senator don't mean I won't freaking hit you with this piece of shit car.
It's a state senator. Nobody cares about them.
Not at Kenyon.
Michael Scott went to No, that was Denison.
Talking
Sorry.
about Ohio State.
Oh, Michael Scott went. I didn't know that.
He
Steve
went to
Carell?
Denison. Yeah.
Oh, he went to Denison.
Yeah. There was a president that went to Kenyon, I thought.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Gordon, not Gordon. The guy used to own the Cavs went to Kenyon as well because he donated the library, which they tore down and then they rebuilt under his name as well.
Yeah. The CAC.
The CAC.
The Kenyon Athletic Center is the CAC.
Big game at the CAC tonight.
Hey,
Kenyon's notable alumni.
maybe hold your phone down a little lower. There you go.
You need to get your readers.
Matthew Winkler. I don't know who that is.
Henry Lane.
Shaka Smart went to Kenyon.
Yeah. The inventor of chaos defense. Yeah.
Bill
Father of
Watterson, the Calvin and Hobbes creator.
Well, see that's it right there. That is their top person.
Well, there's tons of, I'm sure they're not going to list movie stars, kids, and
on their website they have notable alumni.
well,
Yeah.
right, yeah,
Yeah. Nick Patricia from Walk the Moon.
Paul
Shut
Newman.
up and dance with me. Well, Paul Newman went to Ohio University first. By the way, OU Bobcats. But he was kicked out of OU for the most OU thing there is. He rolled a keg down Court Street.
Oh,
He
it wasn't dropping a
corpse.
dead body out of a third story window.
Listen, not all of us are legends.
Josh Radner from How I Met Your Mother. So Ted Mosby went to
Okay,
Kenyon.
gotcha. Okay.
And that's about it. So
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
I think they sell themselves short. Nope, they don't. That's
Who was it?
he
I was
said,
looking
I think
at-
they sell themselves short. Nope.
Oh,
Turns out I was wrong.
So yeah, Paul Newman started at Ohio University and was kicked out. Ed O'Neill, actually, Al Bundy was Ohio U. He played linebacker there 2 years, and then he went up to Youngstown State and played there for 2 more years.
scored 4 touchdowns in one game.
That's right.
He actually in Modern Family is an Ohio State fan.
Well, he's from Ohio.
Yeah, it's You know who else is from Ohio that I didn't know? Oh gosh, ridiculousness. What's his name?
Yeah, he's from, I think, Dayton.
Rob
Deerdeck.
Rob Deerdeck. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's from Dayton. I did know that. Yeah.
He talks about it on the show every once in a while, and I paid attention to it last night when he said
Rob
it.
Deerdeck impersonation.
We're a big state. We've got a lot of people. Like Sarah Jessica Parker, winner of the Kentucky Derby in 1993. She's from Ohio. Carmen Electra. A lot of skanks, really.
That's what I like about Ohio.
Katie Holmes.
What's that? What'd you say, Jim?
Why do you think you moved back here?
Yeah, that's right. Dave Grohl of the Foo Fighters.
Hey.
Little Bow Wow. Actually, I have a former coworker that grew up with Little Bow Wow and has a story about throwing his bike into like the pond at their building or their subdivision. Like he was pissed at him, and so he threw his bike in the lake. Ben Roethlisberger, former Steelers quarterback.
21 Pilots.
Well, yeah, they're from Worthington.
All of those 21 Pilots are from Gehenna, I think, actually. But one of them married a Disney actress, and they have a house in Columbus.
Eric Clapton lived in Ohio for a short period of time. He had a house in I want to say Hilliard. I know because I installed his cable.
Oh yeah,
back in the day, yeah. I walked in, and by the way, he had a bunch of Grammys, fake Grammys, up on his bookshelf, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And like the lady's like, don't you go touching Mr. Clapton's bits and pieces. I'm like, is he here? I haven't touched anything.
So NASCAR legend Junior Johnson lived in Ohio briefly when he was in prison.
So did Mike Tyson.
Is that it for the famous Ohio people?
We have John Glenn. Come on.
Yeah.
John Glenn, the second man to stand on the moon.
I don't think that's right.
No, that was Buzz Lightyear.
Doesn't seem right. Not sure about that one either. I'd have to fact check you on that, I think.
So what do you guys think about conspiracy theories? Like, are there any conspiracy theories that you question, or like there are people that think that suggest that the earth is actually flat and
right. Well, okay. So you do hear the leader of the movement actually built his own rocket, launched himself to prove it, and then died.
Are you getting the same thing I am there, Jim?
Just devastated.
Yeah, we're hearing about every third word, bud. Change your camera.
How about now?
There you.
Can you hear me now? Am I good?
Yeah, you look like you're in. You ever seen those stop motion videos? That's what you look like. You look like you're a stop motion video right now.
Crap.
Like a Charlie Chaplin movie.
See, the problem is I can't really tell if you're messing with me or
not.
No,
I'm not messing with you.
It could not be.
No, I'm not.
We can hear you now. It was just when you started
to
telling that story about the flat Earth guy, I started cutting out.
Right.
Yeah. So the flat Earth guy who built his own rocket to prove that the Earth was flat died in a rocket accident. And flat earthers around the world were just about it. They were just devastated.
When did this happen?
It's like 2 years ago.
I wonder if.
But yeah, he built his own.
Pull up a picture of him. I just saw a flat Earth thing in my news feed the other day. Of this guy was getting this flat Earth guy was getting interviewed by these British hosts, and he was very confident in his crazy beliefs.
So Mad Mike Hughes. Here, let me share. Mad Mike Hughes.
That's a great start to the leader of your cult.
Yeah. There's his rocket right there. It's not
Oh.
penis shaped like Elon Musk. That's why it didn't work.
That was Jeff Bezos, not Elon Musk.
Same thing.
That's not who I thought it was.
So yeah, if your rocket's not penis shaped, it's not going to work. So madmikehughes.com there. It was a steam powered rocket.
Constructed of salvage parts. Is that what that just said?
This can't be real.
No, he literally died in this rocket, right? Yeah, died in 2020. The best thing that happened during COVID. The steam powered rocket to prove that the Earth was flat. He's got a gas can there. I don't know if that's going to help him. I'm sorry.
His plan here? How was he going to land that thing?
I don't.
I mean, was this a suicide mission to begin with from the start?
Yeah, because it don't look like it's got any wheels on it.
No. No.
People who believe the Earth is flat probably don't have a 3-digit IQ. I'm guessing that nobody talked him out of it. He was probably drunk one night, and his two stupid friends he does a podcast with were like, "That's a great idea."
That's a great idea. So,
you should do that, Bert.
The comedian Dusty Slay, he is a flat Earth believer, and he's very smart, but
from what I've seen, that you cannot have counterpoints with flat earthers because every response is, well, that's the government faking it. It's CGI. Like they have no real.
I'm gonna text him. I've been meaning to and have a conversation about it, like because he can have a cohesive discussion even if we disagree, and that's something you can't typically do with somebody like that.
What is his price to join the podcast right now? Text if you got his number and you can text him. Send his ass the link. Listen, I paid for a junkie. I will pay for a flat earth.
I don't know that you can afford him though.
We really want to roll in a flat Earth conspiracy.
He's a road comedian. $50 is more than he makes at like Chuckle Hut, so it'll be fine.
No, he's.
And if you're listening. What is Dusty?
Dusty Slay.
Dusty Slay. That sounds like a real name. Dusty, if you're listening, I don't mean it, but join us. I would love to know more about your flat. He's texting Heather. Hold on. Nut milk or nut wine.
Yeah, everything when I see them being questioned, they're like, "What about NASA?" Oh, it's fake. They faked it. Oh, okay.
The moon landing fake.
Yeah, well, here's one of the things that he said about the moon landing is when you see the capsule coming to land on the moon, who was taking the pictures? Because there was a camera showing it landing, and that makes sense. I
remember that part.
Huh?
I don't know if I've ever seen that, but
by
the way, Mythbusters did a whole episode about this. And they proved without a shadow of a doubt that the moon landing happened. They took, I think it was 4 scenarios, like the flag, because of people that say it was fake.
The flag moving or whatever.
And the footprints, there was all this. It's a good
episode. Who saw it. Or this gentleman right here made sure that it happened. He filmed it for us.
Yeah, like I've seen the picture that they're talking about of like it coming in and landing, and there's a camera fixed on it, and it's like, how did they? Who took the picture?
I've never seen that.
I swear to you, I saw it the other day.
Dusty Slay sent it to you?
No. I looked it up because I had never heard. He had said something about it, and I thought he was joking, so I looked it up.
Dusty Slay sounds like a mediocre porn actor.
Well, he lived in a trailer park when he was.
They all do.
When he was a kid. Actually, a friend of mine.
Porkin' in the Park. That's why I remember him from Porkin' in the Park. That's the movie I saw. I
met him through a friend of mine that went to school with him. They lived in Opelika, Alabama. And I met him through a friend who I used to work with.
Shane?
No.
I'm not questioning you. I'm just saying that flat earthers, that I just can't respect them. Sorry.
Right, and I don't know. I mean, I obviously don't agree with the their point of view, but if I could have not even an argument, a discussion with somebody who wouldn't just start calling me a sheep or whatever, I would be interested in hearing their perspective.
You can find tons of videos online with their perspective. You don't have to.
Yeah, but
a
you
back
can't
and
ask
forth.
questions to a video.
Well, no, but I can tell you what every response is. I've seen a lot of them, and that was faked. The government faked it.
Right.
How do you argue with that point?
So what about the Kennedy assassination? All the conspiracies surrounding that? Do you think it was really Lee Harvey Oswald?
That one I could buy into a little bit more, just because you can come up with reasons why that the FBI would have taken him out. Why would
they
anybody give a shit
hated
if
him.
the Earth is flat or not? I mean, what is that protecting? But yeah, the Kennedy one, I could buy into that a little more. Yeah.
To believe that Lee Harvey Oswald wanted to kill one of the largest geopolitical figures in history, right? That I could see why that would get recycled as conspiracy theory. Now, believing that JFK Jr. is going to show up in Texas sometime this summer, that's fucking crazy.
Wasn't that last summer he was supposed to show up?
Yeah, he was supposed to show up, and he was going to be President Trump's new vice president. Yeah, and they were gonna rule the United States together.
I had never heard that one. That's to me.
But that's from the straight out of QAnon, right? And Q is crazy. I mean, that's wild.
So yeah, it's like the Kennedy ran on some platforms, and then when he appointed his brother as, what was it, Secretary of State?
Bobby Kennedy.
Right. He appointed him as, was it Secretary of State that he appointed?
I believe he was.
And basically sent him to do all of his dirty work, telling the unions that he wasn't going to do what they had raised money for him to do. It was like
he was AG, he was the Attorney General, but
Attorney General.
So essentially they were using the judicial legislative executive branch to bust down on the unions. So
right, and no, they wanted the unions, and Kennedy wasn't 100% in favor of that. But he took union money, so like Jimmy Hoffa, and then he sent Bobby Kennedy to tell Jimmy Hoffa he wasn't going to do what he said he was going to do.
Yeah, and then now Robert Kennedy's son, Robert Kennedy Jr., is actually a big conspiracy theorist as well, and has a podcast. And
does he believe JFK Jr. is coming back? Was he one of those?
I don't know if he goes that deep, but yeah. So yeah, that was over the last summer. Was like JFK Jr. was supposed to come back, and there was going to be a reckoning.
Well, I thought it was in July of 2020 because he was going to run with Trump. He was going to be Trump's running mate.
I have never heard any of that. This is all news to me.
Let's see. QAnon supporters showed up in Dallas expecting JFK Jr. Oh, doggone it. Won't let me in if I don't subscribe. But they were expecting JFK Jr. to show up to Dallas, and maybe his dad will return. Yeah, so that's a little more than 100 QAnon supporters. That's a lot of people not working at Domino's showed up.
A not insignificant number of Trump supporters think JFK is coming back when President Trump runs for office again.
What has this world come to?
Yeah. Followers say that JFK Jr. is Q himself, a mythological Trump supporter entrenched in the deep state that occasionally leaks information on the Satan-worshipping cabal of cannibalistic pedophiles, Democrat QAnon followers think rule the world. Okay. Okay, well.
Yeah. Okay.
He's only been dead for 24 years, but you know. Well, I mean,
It was a plane crash, right? He was flying.
yes. He was
flying at night.
Yeah.
He had his wife on board, and they said that he was ignoring his instruments because he thought the instruments were malfunctioning until he stuffed it in the water.
Right. He was in one of those little Buddy Holly killing planes.
Buddy Holly killing planes.
La Bamba.
Wow.
Sorry, Richie.
Have you seen that movie, La
Oh,
Bamba?
yeah.
No, I know the song. I know what you're talking about now. Have not.
It actually wasn't a bad movie. I enjoyed it when I
No,
watched
it's a
it.
pretty good movie.
But it's got to be 25 years old.
Probably. Who was La Bamba? I don't remember.
Richie Valens.
No.
Oh, no. Lou Diamond Phillips.
Lou Diamond Phillips, yeah.
Richie Valens.
I knew that.
He died in the 60s or something. That's a
Richie
conspiracy
Valens.
theory. Bert.
He's going to run for president.
Right. La Bamba is a
Richie Valens
1987 American biographical drama.
Jeez.
There you go.
87. I did not think it was that old.
I would never guess. I would have thought 90s, mid 90s.
That's because everything happened in the 90s for us.
Now,
Doesn't matter what it is. We were born in the 90s. We were cool in the 90s.
Born
Shit,
in
I
the
don't know.
90s.
Well, you know, some of us were born in the 70s, early 70s.
I was born in the 80s.
You know what's weird is when you're our age is well, Keith's not our age quite yet, but
No.
when you say your age, you say 47, 48, it doesn't, I mean, it sounds old, but when you give your birth date,
Yeah,
you say
that feels old.
1975 is like, whoa.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I
old.
mean, when you think about it, like my birthday is closer to World War II than it is today.
Yeah.
And I think that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Off
I'm on-
topic, real quick, Jim. Are
the whole
you
show.
coming tomorrow?
I don't know, man. Honestly, it's going to depend how I feel. I mean, I just started feeling like halfway human this afternoon. So,
Well, Brandon has to work Saturday, so
yeah, they're not.
they'll probably head back early or
Oh, I haven't talked to them yet. They going?
yeah. Shelly, Kyle, Brandon, and Karen. If there's any way that you can get that E.H. Taylor over to one of them, I'll send back that Eagle Rare.
All right.
So why did Richie Valens' plane crash?
Gravity. That's the short answer.
This part of your conspiracy theories?
No.
Segment.
We just have carried on.
This episode.
Well, if
hey, you know what though? I went back to our very first episode and tried to listen to. I couldn't do it. I had to shut it off.
It's
was
rough.
So bad.
It's rough, isn't it?
It was terrible. We were breaking down the college football playoff like we were on ESPN.
Right. I'm with you.
Keith had a chart and it was
I had a flow chart. I had
it was the worst podcast I've ever heard.
I would say that probably if you go back and listen to any of them until we got to about 5 or 6 would be tough to listen to. I think we really found our groove with, and this is how I explain it is we use sports as a conduit to rip on our friends. And
Friends.
right. I don't know that I truly have any friends.
I actually have a wedding this weekend. Saturday is my first wedding of the season.
Wedding season.
Wedding
Yeah.
season.
I feel like I have a wedding
this summer.
scheduled this summer.
I think his name is Nate.
I was like, I have one scheduled, but I can't remember anything about it. Yeah, it's Nate's. So we sent out the form to what's her name? Josie. We sent out the form to Josie and she sent it back to us, and I don't think she understood the assignment. Because where we put matron of honor and maid of honor and best man, she changed them to friend of honor, sister of honor, and what was it? What'd she call the best man? I can't remember what she called him.
Maybe
I was
they're
like,
just not that close.
Well,
like I don't think that's
it's just probably how she wants it worded.
And then some of the songs, I don't think I even recognize the songs.
Nate said he was worried about that. He was like, I don't know if I forget how they said they worded it, like old country or something like that, classic country or whatever. And
I'll figure it out.
Nate's like, Keith's not gonna have any idea what we're even talking about.
Well, if there's any area of confusion, Nate and I will have a conversation. So I'm not. It's a long way off. I mean, I plan these weddings. I mean, almost a week in advance. So
almost. Yeah.
I can just give you some artist names and you just basically play that genre of music.
Yeah, I can do that. That's fine.
I've almost got my playlist done for this wedding on Saturday. Here, I'll show it to you. Got 3 songs in so far.
Nothing on you.
Yeah, that's AC/DC, Chattahoochee, and
Nothing on You by Bruno Mars.
Yeah, well, that's actually not there. That's not one of the songs, but I started working on it today, and I lost interest in them. It's all good. Honestly, I've done so many weddings that I'll just show up. I could phone it in and still have a good wedding. Now I'm not going to, because I'm a professional.
I can actually phone it in. I can just go drop my equipment off and then just operate it at home from my phone.
Until Heather starts up the White Noise podcast.
Podcast.
Oh shit! Sorry, hold on.
Hey-o.
Got to get that nut milk in me, or nut wine. Nut wine from bbc.com.
You do enough nut juice that a little nut wine isn't gonna hurt you.
Somebody's got to make this house payment. What?
$20 is $20.
$20 is $20.
Yeah, that's great.
So, how far is too far to drive?
I'd top out about 10, 11 hours. If I'm going someplace.
I've got a hard stop at 6 hours.
I have it depends on if I'm going alone.
Oh yeah, I can go forever alone.
If I'm see, that's the thing is if I'm going to Nashville and we're all going, we'll drive. If I'm going to Nashville by myself, I'm flying. But mine is about 7 hours. You get me much further than Nashville, we're gonna have to start looking into plane tickets.
Yeah, I could probably push it to 7.
When I went to would have been I think in 19. It would have been shortly after Jim helped me move out of Shelly's house. I went to Gulf Shores, Alabama. And I went by myself and drove.
That's like 16 hours.
I think it was about 12.
And then you
and it
told
was
me what vehicle you
fucking
drove.
rough. Yeah, I drove my Buick.
I can't believe that made it out of the city, let
Oh
alone
my goodness.
Alabama. and
That was after I had so I had an issue with the fan, with the cooling fan in it. It would get hot and I couldn't figure out why. And then I did figure out why. It was because the fan wasn't kicking on when it was supposed to. So I used a coaxial cable and one of those alligator clips. And I would get in and I would alligator clip it to the hot of the battery so it would run all the time. And I drove it to Alabama
with a transmission that was, I don't know how. Was it the transmission?
Transmission was giving me fits too.
Yeah. I don't know how it made it there and back. I have no idea. It was just by the grace of God he made it there and back. There was no reason for that vehicle to make it that far.
You know, if it requires hustle, Keith's got you covered, right? I mean, let's be honest. Do you know anybody that hustles harder than Keith?
Yeah. What do you mean hustle? Like
if I need to make if something came up and somebody needs $1,000, who's going to figure out how to find it the fastest?
Yeah.
Okay, I see what you mean. I thought you meant like hustle to do a good job or hustle.
No. Fuck that. No, hell no. That's why I work for the people I work for.
Hustler is what you meant to say.
Right. It's like if you were like, somebody has stolen my kid and I need to give them $1,500 tomorrow and I don't have it, who are you going to call to get you $1,500?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I could even go, I'd even go 30,000, right? I think there'd be a significant number that you could come up with, right?
In a pretty short period of time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Keith, I need 100 grand in 2 days. Let me make a few phone calls.
Yeah.
Yeah. How many kidneys you still have, Jim? I got a guy. He just slaps you on the back, says this one purrs.
Yeah. I can. I've always had the ability to make substantial amounts of money. But I've never been able to save money or spend money on things I needed to spend it on, like electric and because like it's like I could make 6 figures, but I'm still gonna have to scramble to pay the light bill.
Right. You're gonna go hungry once in a while, but you'll be,
I got to hustle. I got this shit figured out.
No, that's definitely not one of the things I would criticize you about. You definitely have. I mean, you got a lot, but it's that. But definitely not hustle. You definitely can do that.
Right. It's like I said, never been fiscally responsible.
No. You're like a congressional staffer on coke, but yeah, I got you.
Yeah, I don't remember when Jim got up to walk away. I don't remember what I was about to say.
I think you were saying that you were told not to get shit-faced tonight.
Oh yeah, I'm not. I'm doing fine. I'm doing fine.
You do fine till the end.
Shit gets hairy around the time that I have to read when the next show is going to record. Yeah, I never really notice it until I start saying
Hi,
more
everybody.
content you can follow us. It's like, oh, I get the spins about the time I say that.
Yeah, you're a Harry Carey in the 7th inning, or Harry. Well, it's not Harry Carey. What was his name? No, shit.
No, Harry Carey was the Cubs announcer.
Oh, okay. I thought Harry Carey was like if you commit Harry Carey.
Well, yeah, it's same guy.
Wait, how does old drunk announcing baseball equate to like murdering people?
No, it's suicide. Harry Carey is suicide.
Oh, Harry Carey. Oh.
Wait, what? Harry Carey is suicide.
You've never heard that term?
No.
Committing Harry Carey is suicide.
He didn't commit suicide.
Are you sure?
No. He died of old age and alcoholism.
Yes,
so
sure Harry Carey.
Ritual suicide by disembowelment practiced by Japanese samurai or formerly decreed
Oh,
By
yeah,
Kurt.
it's spelled entirely different.
Oh, it's HARI-KARI. Harry
Yeah.
Carey. Where
Yeah.
as opposed to Harry Carey.
As opposed to.
I did, there's some slight subtle differences there. It's hard to tell.
Yeah. Harry Carey.
Trying to decide if this Castle and Key is dying to be drank.
What? I'm hearing this high pitched sound from the microphone.
I am hearing it too.
It's my vibrator.
Your vibrator isn't that high pitched. I mean, what?
It is when I open my mouth. Gets nasally.
So how are you on Castle and Key at home, Jim? You said you got a couple pours left.
I got about that much left. Yeah.
I have 3 more bottles of it that I've gotten over the course of the last couple months.
Say, how did you get all that?
So this is batch 3. I've got batch 1, 2, and 5 also.
Jeez.
Well, I asked somebody, I was like, I'll buy, and all 3 bottles I got for less than retail. Because people get them and you know how it is you either really like that or you don't like it at all. And there's no middle ground on it. There's no people that are like, I could give it or take it. It's sweet forward. And a lot of the purists don't like sweet bourbon.
It's not very old either.
Right. So people will buy it and decide they don't like it, and then they'll sell their extra bottles of it for less than what they paid for them. And I decided I would buy them all up, and I ended up with way too many of them.
Well, the Reds are about to go down on opening day. That was
Is it opening day?
Yeah, it was a short-lived, looking forward to baseball season to start.
They already started to trade their good players.
Right.
I read that Ken Griffey Jr. is actually the 4th highest red on a paid role.
Fourth highest paid red, yeah.
Right, this year.
Yes. Look around. If I had some time, I could probably give you 15 to 20 players that the Reds drafted, brought up through their farm system, developed, were on their big league team, and then shipped off and are now contributing starters to competing teams. Like, it's insanity. They have a really good farm system. They really do. They develop players, they get to the major leagues, and then they're like, sweet, so he's good now, let's trade him.
Yeah. I'm not much of a baseball guy, and we've talked about this. Jim has famously said that I'm not smart enough to be a baseball fan, which could possibly be entirely true. It's a little bit of a slow game for me. Now, I've heard
You're a soccer fan. How can you say baseball is a little bit of a slow game?
I like live sports. I'll watch baseball live. I watch soccer live. I don't sit and watch soccer unless it's like the World Cup or
it's the World Cup.
It's the WNBA of soccer.
So
makes sense.
The active payroll for Cincinnati, for the Cincinnati Reds, is $16,737,000.
Yeah. Yep.
The active payroll
for the whole year.
And there's no salary cap in
right.
baseball.
Is that the whole season?
Wait,
16 million.
I have a division at Cincinnati Bell, right? Or CBTS, whatever you can call it. Yeah. My active payroll for CBTS is $8 million. Yeah. Under my purview.
Yeah, I would.
I mean, the Reds have got me beat. Okay.
Yeah.
But I hire nerds.
How is that possible?
How is that what possible?
How the ownership doesn't care about winning. They care about making money. But what's happening is they're losing season ticket holders. They're losing attendance.
Yeah.
They're going to have to sell this team. In the next 5 years, that team will be owned by somebody else.
We have 40 seats at the Pilot House, the big boat in the middle of center field, and we can't fill them.
Right.
with people who go to go for free.
Because the product is that bad on the field.
Yeah.
It's
They're
insane.
basically Hardee's of baseball. It's greasy, it's salty.
Carl's Jr.
Same place. Carl's Jr. Fuck you.
And it sucks. It's a great stadium right on the
Yeah.
river. And there's not a bad seat in the place. It feels like a small ballpark. There's a lot of home runs. It's easy to hit long balls in there. It's just their owners are so bad.
We talked to a couple of our friends that are Reds fans about going down. I think I talked to Jim about it, about going down on like a I don't know, Wednesday or a Thursday for a game. And because the tickets you can buy the tickets on the secondary site for $3 and there's no fees. And they're like, nah.
It's more expensive to park than it is to get in the stadium.
Well, that was like when we went to that Browns game. We paid $35 to park and $14 for tickets.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, after the All-Star break, when they're, the wheels have ran off, we'll go sit and there. Actually, we own the suite on the inside at the back of the stadium. So we'll have to go to that and sit there and eat free food and drink free booze. And
yeah, I'll go down for that. I'm not.
It's air conditioned. Yeah,
I'm not paying to go to a Reds game.
It's air conditioned.
Oh yeah, it's
fucking
fabulous.
Count me in.
Yeah, there's no sweating involved.
Just walking to the seats is only sweating you have to do, Keith.
Yeah, you gotta walk, and parking's free for me. So,
how close can we park?
Not that far. I don't walk like that. It's foot and pavement. It's like analog. Nope.
Yeah,
I'm digital.
It's like almost in the stadium. The one on the
Uber from the parking garage to the stadium.
It's a block. I have to go a block.
Oh no, I'm talking the paid parking is where I park at. I pay, but it's right there.
I think after the All-Star game, you can probably park in the outfield.
So
park in the players' parking lot because they'll be getting rid of a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So we went to a couple years ago after Buffett, we went over to Newport, and they had a game that night, and we parked in the game parking because it was cheaper than parking anywhere else.
Yeah, it's a sad situation down there.
Well, so the NFL has a salary floor and a salary cap. I believe the minimum you can spend as an NFL owner is somewhere around $45 million to field a team. I think baseball needs to institute something along those lines as well. They're just such a disparaging, you've got the Reds at 16 million, the Yankees at 216 million. What is the Yankees payroll? We should look that up.
Well, it's I don't know that you can put a floor unless you put a cap.
I don't buy into that because the Reds can be competitive. They've had the players to be competitive. They just
Well, no. What I'm saying is I don't think that you would be able to institute a floor if you don't institute a cap.
You have to have both, right? So the Yankees payroll is $208 million. The Reds payroll is $16 million.
Yeah.
That is the difference between the WNBA and the NBA right there. It literally is.
The WNBA. I saw this. Actually, I think it was yesterday. So this league has been around for 26 years. 26 years.
The WNBA?
WNBA.
Shut the fuck up. It has not been.
Yes. 26 years. Do you know how much money they've made lifetime in 26 years?
Including what the NBA puts in or not?
Including they have made zero money in 26 years. Zero.
That sounds like my son. So this week I got a floor that I'm putting in. I'm putting in a laminate, like 1,200 foot laminate floor.
Yeah.
And then I also had a couple of other little jobs that I needed to do. So He called me last week when he got fired. He was like, I answered the phone. He goes, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I'm editing." He was like, "Oh, well, it happened again." Like he sounded like Eeyore. It happened again. And he tells me, he bullshits me. And he's like, "I had a doctor's appointment and I was late to the doctor's appointment. And so I couldn't go into the doctor's appointment. And since I didn't have a note, they fired me." And I'm like, I feel like there's more to that story. So I asked his mom, and she's like, he didn't have a doctor's appointment. She's like, I got his calendar right here. He didn't have a doctor's appointment. So she got the truth out of it. So he's like, "Can I work for you?" And I'm like, "No, I need somebody who's reliable. I need somebody who I can count on, like Shane." So I'm working on this floor and I'm like, you know what? I could use an extra pair of hands. So Tuesday, I was like, come and work for me. I said, you work the rest of this week with me. You turn in your hours on Friday and we'll pay you. So he worked with me on Tuesday, went home. He was supposed to come meet me on Wednesday. And he's like, "Oh, mom's threatening to kick me out. So I got to find another job. So I can't come work with you." So I called his mom and she's like, "I didn't say any of that. I said none of that stuff." So it turns out he just didn't want to work. And he thought that I wouldn't verify that he was getting thrown out of his house with his mom.
Does he have a car?
He does. He has a yellow Volkswagen Beetle.
Okay, so awesome. But I think you gotta let him sleep in his car a night or two. That's it. You got
his mom, she put it so he had an apartment. He had a studio apartment. I've told Jim this. I don't know if I've ever told Bert this. His rent was $804 a month for this studio
That's a halfway
apartment.
house. That's a halfway house.
For this studio apartment in Grove City, his rent was $804. So on the 29th of the month, he called me and he said, "I'm a little short on my rent." And I said, "How short are you on your rent?" He said, $796. Wanted to borrow rent money. And I'm like, "No, I'm not loaning you money." I was like, "If you want to sell me some shit, I'll buy it from you." So he sold me all of his computer parts for, I was like $500 I gave him for his computer parts. He said, "I'll buy them back from you next month." I owned them for a year and a half, and then he bought them back. He came and lived with me.
$700.
He paid whatever
He pawned them.
He pawned them to me is what he did. Yeah. But it's like he can't get his shit together. I'll send him the link. Fuck it, I don't care. What's the worst thing that could happen? He'll come on asking for $35.
You're gonna have to cut some of this out because you told that exact same story on last week's episode.
That was my fault. I told him I didn't remember the story, which I didn't because
really
exactly almost verbatim.
So I watched last week's and there's parts where I'm under the table. My hands are just visible.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to breathe. Yeah, I drank a lot that time.
Was that the Shane and Biana or last week?
Shane and Biana, I think, actually. So not the actual last week, but that was totally worth it.
Well, I sent it to him. See what happens. I send it to Dusty Slay too. See what happens.
Best part of the Shane part was when he first started coming in. First, it said,
"Shane, can I borrow $35?
Can I borrow $35?" was his name on Zoom.
Oh, I contend that was the best podcast ever.
He did not know how to. No, that was not the best. The best was, "Keith, we can't hear you."
Oh yeah, I gotta go try and finish this floor up tomorrow. That's the plan, is to finish it up. I'm about 80% through the main area, and then I gotta do a hallway and a closet, which is a small hallway and a closet, and then the laundry room.
When are you supposed to have it done? When did you tell me to have it done?
Friday.
Oh, there you go. Friday's tomorrow. You're fine.
Yeah. I mean, if I already said something to her today, I was like, I can come do it on Saturday. She's like, don't worry about it. As long as I get that main area done, the little hallway she never uses, and then the laundry room, I put a rug down. So put a rug down over the subfloor.
Is this a classic Keith underestimating the size of the job?
No, the kitchen was a lot more difficult than I expected it to be, because there's a lot of nooks and crannies and closet and an island, and the island is odd shaped. So it took me all day yesterday, or all day Tuesday, to get the kitchen done. And I expected to be about halfway through the living room on Tuesday. So I just got a little bit behind because of how hard the kitchen was. Like today I did probably 600 feet today.
That your helper had a doctor's note that he forged because he's getting kicked out of his mom's house because he lost his 14th job.
You're not helping me, man. I don't know. Do you want me to drink too much?
No, I don't.
Is he back to work now? I missed the.
Fuck no, he's not back to work.
Gosh.
He's gonna be working down to the Sitco.
A Sitco wouldn't hire him.
He's gonna be in the bathroom at Speedway.
Right.
On the other side, the wrong side of that hole.
Jackass. So fucking irritated with that kid. It's a good thing I'm editing both of these episodes back to back, because I'll be able to determine which
Bert's
one
right. I think that boy needs to sleep in his car a couple nights, and that's
Right.
the end of the.
She's not gonna let him, and that's
No.
and the thing is it's like now. So
she's not doing him any favors by.
I know she's not. So he got a work at home job back. This is a while ago.
Okay.
And she's like, it's too loud here. Can he come stay with you? I was like, absolutely. Send him over. We'll get this shit ironed out.
Okay.
So she moved him over here, and he fussed and cried and whined for 3 weeks. And I basically had him pinned up against the wall, where he was going to have to either fail miserably or he was going to have to fucking figure it out. And he cried enough that his mom came and rescued him in the middle of the day. And I went fucking ape shit on her. And when I talked to her the other day, she's like, I'm just not sure what to do. I said, I don't know what to tell you. I said, every time I've had him in a position where he was going to have to grow up, you come and bail him out. So it's not my problem that you can't figure out what to do with him now.
Yeah.
He's fucking 20. He's going to get it, or he's not.
Each kid is going to be different, right? You've got Keith, Kyle, and Audrey, and Grayson. Then Jim, you've got Nate, and you have a daughter, right?
Yep.
They're all different people. Like, I have 2 children. I've got Jacob. I've got Jonah. Jacob is very low maintenance, but he's very low driven. Jonah would start his own company tomorrow if I'd let him. Each kid is different, but keeping moving forward, right? That's the piece of this, right? That's the crux is, are you moving forward? Are you moving backwards? And if you don't push him, I mean, literally sleep in the car, put a tent in the yard. I would tell Miranda, I'd say, hey, listen, send him back over and put a tent in the yard and let him sleep in the cold for the night. Let him sleep with those damn raccoons. Yeah. And if he doesn't get it that day, he'll get it the next day.
Well,
when
he
he's
came
hungry
over here. He came over here a few weeks ago. Came over here with his girlfriend and his brother, actually. And we had fresh strawberries. And so I was like, do you guys want anything from the refrigerator or whatever? And Kyle found the strawberries and he pulled them out. And Keith just got up and he's like, "Where's your sugar?" I was like, "You're not getting sugar out." Because, and the reason I said that, and I'm not being just an asshole, every time he does anything with anything that could potentially make a mess, he fucking demolishes my entire house. So if I would have given him access to 5 pounds of sugar, I would still be finding sugar in like my fucking dresser drawers in my bedroom.
I came in like a wrecking
right.
ball.
What did he need sugar for? Is he just going to take
to put on the strawberries? He wanted to dip the strawberries in sugar or whatever.
They're not sweet enough. They're strawberries.
Yeah. I'm like, no.
So should I just saw your foot off now there, Wilford Brimley?
Right. So he's pouting, and so it's him and his girlfriend and Kyle, and Kyle's just like he's stuffing full strawberries in his mouth and spitting out the leaves, and like he's never eaten a strawberry before.
Like he's Mr. Peeper.
Right. He's treating strawberries like most people treat sunflower seeds. You're on mute.
On purpose. I was asking for something.
Oh. So he's sitting over there and he's pouting. And like you can see that he's pouting. And he made some snarky ass comment. And I was like, listen, if you're going to be a jackass, go sit on the porch. And he got up and stomped outside and sat on the porch and then called his mom to tattle on me. And his mom called his girlfriend to tell him that she should probably leave. And I was like, put her on speakerphone.
There's video of Kyle eating the strawberry.
Yeah. Right.
Need some sugar for that, Bert?
Jesus criminy. Oh,
good.
Keith, you guys gotta get any
feel on your shirt.
I was like, what the
so come on.
I'm leaning over so I can
get down.
I can't
Keep
bend
on.
that low.
Gosh, just get down.
Get low,
Asshole.
shorty.
That's as far as I can go.
Oh, yeah.
Get taller.
Keep on.
Get taller. It's a fucking camera.
Jonah, get here. Keep going. This is my giant ginger.
Oh, I've seen that guy.
Professional 6'4" player.
Yeah, get out of here.
I've seen that guy eat alligator.
What did he say? 6'4" player.
Yeah.
He's about a 6'2" pain in the ass, is what he is. Because Nate's 6'4". That kid's not as tall as Nate.
No, he's like 6'1". He's a little bit taller than Keith. I keep trying to convince Heather to let Jonah date Audrey. But if they do, I don't know if you've met Audrey, but this will be their child right here. It'd be Blake Griffin. Because Audrey's dark complected and Jonah's a ginger.
Well, then that kid would have to date one of the Kardashian kids.
Oh, nope.
Yeah.
I'm not ruining his life.
Oh, you don't want your kid anywhere around Audrey. She's perpetually mad.
So you have two women.
So she came home from work last night. She came home from work last night and sat at the table eating pizza and crying.
Gosh.
I don't know what was wrong.
They don't do that till you're in your 30s.
30s, yeah.
So she's sitting there and I look over, Heather's standing in the hallway. She's sitting at the table sobbing and eating pizza. And I looked at her, I was like, she's like,
Keith, this is where you should come in and shine. You have caused many a 30-plus-year-old woman to sit at the pizza table and eat pizza and cry.
Yeah, I just don't know how to handle them when they're 15.
Oh, that was old Keith. Sorry.
He doesn't know how to handle it because he's not there when that's happening. He caused that and then just dips out. Well, I gotta go.
Dropped a fake name on him.
Yeah.
And then they teach your child 20 years later.
Tucker Riddleman. That's one of my fake names that I've used in my life.
You could never pass for a Tucker Riddleman. Come on, nobody's gonna believe your name's.
He's got a bow tie in his closet. It's fine.
Yep, Tucker Riddleman has made plenty of girls cry.
Does it feel odd when they scream your name?
That is actually the name that that's the name I gave Keith's math teacher was Tucker Riddleman. I made that name up. I actually made that name up. Bert and I did something.
Oh shit.
So what was the name that Bert had?
Rad Turlington.
Rad Turlington. And I made up Tucker Riddleman. There is actually a Facebook page for Tucker Riddleman somewhere.
Yeah. He built a log, or he built the log cabin that he was born in.
Yeah, built a log cabin. The log cabin he was born in, he built with his bare hands.
Drove his parents home from the hospital.
Let's see here. Tucker Riddleman. Let's see what we pull up here. Digital media and communications coordinator. Is that him?
I don't think so.
Sure, why not? So
here he is starting a new job.
No, that's not. No,
are you
no.
sure that's not you?
That's Riggleman.
Oh, okay, you're right. Well, I typed in Riddleman.
So
let me see. He may have gotten deleted when I got hacked. Friends.
Are you still sticking with this hacked? Speaking of conspiracy theories, Keith got hacked.
Thank you for listening. Our next pod will drop on April the 11th. For more content, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and Twitter. The links can be found in the podcast description. If you'd like to leave a message, you can go to anchor.fm/triple-S pod. We will play them on the show. Also, on our Facebook page, we're going to start a new segment starting next week that if you write in questions about our lives, about what kind of stuff we do when we're not recording podcasts, about just about anything, if you'd like to write those questions in, we'll read them out and we'll answer them on the podcast. So you're going to send those to our Facebook page or our email address. Our email address is, hold on, I got to pull this up. Our email address is ssspod2022@gmail.com. Shoot those into us. We will get those added on our show next week, and we'll answer them if you have any questions. So for Keith, Jim, and Bert, we'll see you next week.